America's Most Wanted, I did not mention NWA, and then they dissed me.
Well, you said the man smell like MC Ren. I said, God damn, Q.
Phone one, it ain't no rules for the one.
Welcome back to the OGs. We got the OG of the OGs on the podcast today. We are super excited about it, man.
Legend.
I'm just trying to figure out, when I look at this resume, how the hell you had enough time to do all this, Q?
Man.
How you have time to do all this? You got more than 24 hours in your day?
Evolution to the fullest right here.
I got some great people.
Great people around you.
That's right. That's right.
So shit.
Yeah, great.
Go ahead. I got the very first question, and for me, the pivot that you made, obviously, you know what I'm saying, going back to Boys in the Hood, which was one of my favorite movies, when you played Doughboy with Jerry Curl, all that. But is that where it catapulted your mind and thinking and saying, I could do this on my, shout out to the late, great, obviously, John Singleton. But is that where you looked at it and said, I could be on this other side and I could do that? Because I just want to know where your mind started thinking bigger than just being a worker and thinking of being a boss.
Well, I came up around a few bosses. Starting with a guy named Lonzo Williams, who ran the record crew. He had his own, he did his own, promoted his own clubs. He had his own record label, put out his own records. He was a promoter too. He brought in artists. Watching him, then watching the late great Eazy-E. Go from hustling on the street to selling millions of records. It was amazing to see his transition. But yeah, when I met John Singleton and he put me in that first movie, Boys in the Hood, I just got bit by the bug, and I saw somebody that was pretty much my age, controlling the whole thing, directing. He had something to do with the soundtrack. He had something to do with, editing and promotion. He told me I could do it. He looked at me one day and said, when you going to write a movie? Ooh. When you going to put in some work? So that all, it put the bug in my head to go on this route.
When you're doing music and then movies, is there a lot of similarities in that as far as producing, writing? Is it kind of staying in the same lane? Is that what it is, or is it completely different? Like obviously I can't do either of them. So like, how does that work?
I think it's completely different.
Okay.
Because it's similar. Like if I was in a big group, it would probably be similar, but to put it in perspective, to make one movie, you need over 100 people in all different aspects working hard to bring it together, and to do a record, I can go in there with me and my engineer and my producer and come out with a record. So, you can actually, work on a record by yourself if you wanted to. You can work on music by yourself. Prince used to produce a lot of his music, just him. And so with a movie, there's no way, no how can you do it by yourself. So you got to be a team player to do movies.
How hard is it on the movie side? Because what you're saying is exactly, now it all makes sense. When you go to put a movie together, obviously the idea starts, right? When you do a Friday or now you got to figure out who's going to fit those roles. So you're on hands with all of that.
First of all, getting 100 people on the same goddamn page, period. I can't even get 10 on the same page. And you got 100 people on the same page.
Well, you try to find craftsmen. You try to find people who love the project, who want to, show their skills, who are very passionate. You know, whether they doing wardrobe, you know, whether they doing sound. They could be doing catering. You know, they want to feed everybody, make sure everybody eat right.
Yeah.
You know, it's you just find people that take pride in they craft. You know, their name is going up there too at the end. When the end credits go, you know, their name go up there too. And if somebody say, "Hey man, the food was nasty on this movie," everybody go look and see who did the catering, and you know it can mess up your next job. So you got to just have people who are passionate. It's like playing. You know, everybody getting paid different amounts, but that don't matter when the ball go up. You know what I mean? When the ball go up, it don't matter who getting paid what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to do their job.
Yeah.
Do your job, man. Time is money in the movie game. So basically, when we on set, everybody got to do their job and do it at a high level.
And then when you said, like, you know what I'm saying, everybody doing their job at a high level, we got to give you your flowers, because a lot of people that's like who we watch right now, who we particularly watch, meaning, you know what I'm saying, African-American culture, a lot of these guys got their start or got kind of put on the scene when it came to you. I was like, I remember my first time seeing Mike Epps. I remember my first time seeing Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? I remember my first time seeing Chris Tucker. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, kind of got their start, or maybe not their start. Maybe they were doing, you know, comedy and little, you know, comedy shows and different things like that. But on the big screen, when you brought them to us and you brought them to, you know, people who were in Miami and people who wasn't getting a chance to see them, a lot of that started with you. So how was you able to kind of run into these guys, discover these guys, meet these guys, and know they were good to work with in the future?
Well, you know what's great when I was putting all those movies together, it was something on called Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, that
Def
was
Comedy Jam.
Yes.
You know, and you know, Comic View and all these places would highlight the best comedians of the day. And I just got a knack for talent. When I see, you know, somebody do one thing, I say, hey, you know, that person could do a movie. You know, this person, you know, if I got a role, this would be the perfect person for it. And you know, I grew up, you know, watching people like Robert Townsend, you know, put together great movies, great ensembles with different comedians. You know, I'm a kid that used to watch, you know, Saturday Night Live and Living Color and all these shows who took very, you know, different comedians and put them in different situations and showed their talent. So I dig that style. You know, I like making funny movies, but I'm not a comedian. So, you know, I want to find the best people to put in the movie to make sure, you know, that people are laughing and people enjoying themselves. And so, you know, I'm proud of the people that I've been able to get them an opportunity, and not only give them an opportunity, but them, you know, they're able to run with it. You know, not just, you know, kind of, you know, get there and not show up on the moment. You know, you need them to show up on the moment.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you got some 10 a.m. players, and then you got some 7:30 p.m. players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, when the popcorn starts smelling and all that stuff. So same thing with acting. You got people who might be very funny, but when they get on the set, they kind of freeze up.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got one shot at it, one day at it to get it right and to be funny and do something special. So it's cool that all those guys and girls was able to step up to the challenge.
It's funny you said that, because I just want to quote my great teammate Dwayne Wade, where he used to say this in practice to me and the coaches sometimes when he was, you know, going through his motions. You want me to give it to you now? You want it at 7:30.
That's right.
We'd be like, you know what?
yeah.
You know what, D-Wade? Take your time. We need it at 7:30.
Yeah,
Don't just take your time, dog. Bring it to us at 7:30.
right.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's great that you made that point.
Game time.
That's
You know,
right.
that's when it matters. You know, people, everybody think they can do it, but, you know, with a movie or with acting, you got to do it when it count. You know, nobody care if you funny the day before we shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you got to be funny on time, every time. And so these guys are great. You know, I'm happy to have worked with them.
Today's episode is proudly brought to you by our guys at Morgan & Morgan. It's America's largest personal injury law firm. They started out here in Florida 30 years ago and now are helping people across all 50 states. Morgan & Morgan is always for the people and have your back when it comes to fighting to get you full and fair compensation. As athletes, we have faced our fair share of injuries. That's why we know how difficult it is to get back out there after an injury. The team and the support behind you matter. And submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is free and easy. It just takes 8 clicks or less from the comfort of your own couch to get started. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/theOGs or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/theOGs or pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. This, my friends, is a paid advertisement.
Blind ranking UF basketball players, so it's going to be 5, and then I'm going to say one name, you're going to put them 1 through 5, and we're going to do that.
I'm doing this or he's doing it?
Both of you.
Okay, so it's blind ranking.
Blind
You're going to give us the names?
I'm giving you names, yeah.
All right, cool.
Do we need to know? I need to know. Is it at Florida or is it their whole NBA career?
That's a good question. See, look
Ooh,
at this. The
I think-
legalities of it. You
No,
see?
I think we do.
Because Mike's this whole thing changes based on his whole thing, like whole career. He's a little higher up. Just Florida. He's out of there.
Let's just do Florida because we got some young bees in there too.
Okay.
So, starting off, Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal at Florida. I have to go 5. He's a one and done.
So you only give me 5 names?
5 names.
I gotta go 5 too. One and done. There's too many. Now we're gonna be screwed, both of us.
I know. That's what I had this
If
whole.
they throw some names out there like me, then they all of a sudden use 6.
And he's lifetime NBA guy. He's one of the best Gators all time. He's probably number 2.
No, that's a hard one. That's a
All
hard
right,
one. Bradley Beal's a
next,
legend.
Mike Miller.
I'm gonna go 4.
For the people.
For the people. It's brought to you by For the People.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I feel like you've done some due diligence on this. You're a big time Gator. I feel like you've done a lot more work on this than I have. I'm going 4 as well.
All right, Joakim Noah.
At Florida, number 1.
1.
Big
1.
sticks.
1. That's not even a hard one. That's a 1.
It was hard work between him and Horf. He's probably coming up.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Put him 3.
Yeah, I gotta put him 3.
And last but not least, Udonis Haslem.
2.
That's there you go. That worked out well for him.
We got the same team.
With UD2, he had 2 NBA titles. He had 3 NBA titles. So if you really look at the breadth of work,
Yeah. No, if you're looking at
I think we did good. There's no Horf on there. There's no Corey Brewer on there. So and Chandler Parsons was left off the list too. So they're not going to be texting me. So we're all good.
You guys agreed on everyone.
we had to.
Well, I'm his lawyer, so
Exactly right. I've always learned. My dad taught me to listen to my lawyer. Well, being my age and living through it, everything that you've done has been iconic in music and in movies and all that. But now you're touching my real heart, which is Big 3 basketball. So talk to me about Big 3 and how that all started and what your idea was behind it, because it's a super dope idea. It's crazy to see. Like I'm saying, that's why it's fun to have this conversation right now. Is okay, we went from music, we go to movies, and now we touch basketball. And you've been ultra successful at everything you've done. So how did you come up with Big 3, and what would you think the idea was at the beginning, and how did you obviously orchestrate it and put it together?
As a fan, that's really where the idea came. I wanted to see more hoops. I usually hibernate after the finals until football starts. Right. So
all of us
do the same thing.
So I figured like, damn, this 2.5 months that nothing I really dig is popping. Mm-hmm. And so, this idea of 3-on-3, I love 3-on-3. I play more 3-on-3 than 5-on-5.
Yeah.
It's always been like the little cousin of 5-on-5, but never got no shine. So, years ago, over a decade ago, I was wondering, why hasn't this been elevated to the pro level? Mm-hmm. I would see different little 3-on-3, kind of weekend warrior tournaments pop up outside on the blacktop. And I was like, man, why this not inside in the arena with pros? Yeah. Could you imagine 7-footers playing 3-on-3? And so that's where the idea started to, kind of germinate. Then, I started talking to my partner, Jeff Quinans. He was, me and him just kind of start beating the idea off each other. But what kicked us over the top was Kobe scoring 60 points in his last game. Now, we was like, if a dude can score 60 points in his last game, he got so much game left, but nowhere to play, nowhere to display it on the professional level. And so that's when we started to say, hey, let's start thinking about what it would look like. Wow. And in 2016, we spent a year just kind of talking about rules. What would it look like? How could we be better than the other leagues? How could we treat our players better? Let them pick their own team, fuck a GM. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like we started to think of what's cool and how do we bring the best out the players. We started thinking of ways to get them to play hard. We saw different all-star games and stuff, and we was like, dude, you should get a little more if you win than if you lose. That'll probably bring out the real game. And so we spent 2016 calibrating the idea, and then we start talking to, the real OGs, Iceman, Clyde Drexler, Dr. J. Is this a good idea? Would you be a part of this? Gary Payton, Chauncey Billups, Jermaine O'Neal, Bonzi Wells. We talking to all the OGs. Is this a good idea? Would you be a part of it? And all of them said yeah. And 2016, end of 2016, Kenyon Martin was the first one to actually sign a contract.
Okay.
And we was like, we got credibility. We got Kmart that give us a ton of credibility. First number 1 overall pick. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, he, Jermaine O'Neal,
J.O.
All the OGs start to really sign up and buy into the idea. And, to make a long story short, we launched in 2017. Been rolling ever since. It's been a labor of love to get this league to this point.
Yeah.
We got the best professional 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. And we're very proud of it.
Cube, I grew up in South Dakota, and 3-on-3 was a vibe then. Like our age group, 3-on-3 basketball, those tournaments what you're talking about were the and what you said in there, talking about even Kobe that inspired you because at that age, it's true because they have a lot more to give, and these players have a lot more to give. They just can't do it for 82 games up and down competing against consistently for what I mean, like they can't do it. So what you're doing, man, like literally 3-on-3 was the vibe. Like that was what we did. Like you rolled out of the park and it was 3-on-3 tournaments every Saturday and Sunday. And I'm coming from South Dakota, so I know it's even better in every other place. But like that's just the best. 3-on-3 basketball is elite to me. There's no hide neither.
You have to. You can't hide.
I love that.
You can't be a specialist in 3-on-3.
That's why I'm sitting over here.
No
Cube, that's why I'm
specialist.
sitting over here,
Yeah.
Cube. That's why I'm sitting over here.
Yeah, you gotta be able to pass, dribble, shoot, and defend, or you're gonna get exposed.
Yes.
And these guys, they've honed their skill level to the apex, and they know all the tricks of the trade. They know everything you need to know to get loose in the big three. And so, what's cool now, we're starting to open it up for younger players. So we got some of our younger stars coming in doing their thing too. And so it's the league is growing in a way that we envision, and we're just gonna keep fanning the flames.
No, and again, what I love about it is that you're creative and outside the box. Obviously, you've shown your creativity throughout your career with everything else you've done. But even talking about the Caitlin Clark stuff, like that'd have been unbelievable. Ooh. What actually happened there? Because there's rumors all over the place. Like that'd have been an unbelievable platform for her as well. So if you can touch on that a little bit, that'd have been dope.
Well, we proud that we've changed the game for the better.
Yes.
We believe the guys in the big three are playing the right way. our rules are innovative. 4-point shot, bring the fire, which you can challenge a foul once a half, make the guys go one-on-one to see if it was really a foul.
Love it,
All that
love it.
cool stuff that you really can't really pull off in 5-on-5. So, we have the first female head coaches to win championships and Coach of the Year with Lisa Leslie and Nancy Lieberman. And so, we didn't know if she was up for the challenge, Caitlin Clark. But we wanted to, give her a real offer and not only change the game for her, but change the game for all women
For sure.
in sports. Getting an offer like that, it really raised the eyebrows of a lot of, sports, the whole sports world, really. And now they're talking more about the compensation and some of the perks that the women are getting now. But we offered her a $5 million to play for 2 years, so she walked away with 10. Little equity here and there, but we knew it was a big step. Her, trying to play with the men at the professional level would have definitely opened up the minds of a lot of people. Whether she was successful or not, who knows? But we think she could have been, because we've had small guards in our league get loose, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf,
Bad boy.
people like
Bucket.
Hezzy
He was a
God.
bucket.
These guys was able to get loose. They not that big. And so we felt like, okay, she could shoot from range. She could pass. She may have a shot to do great in this league. We believe her not lawyers, but her agents blocked it a little bit. We never got a chance to actually have a conversation with her and her family. The agents really didn't want to see that happen, in our opinion.
Yeah.
They have too many, they make their money off NBA players, not WNBA players.
Yeah.
So they're not going to piss the NBA off for one player. And so it didn't happen, but we're proud that we made the offer, and hopefully we opened up the minds of, people who run basketball, who are involved in basketball at the highest levels.
And just to touch on that, like, I think, you talked about some of the details in it. We heard most of the details. We didn't hear them all. But the fact that I heard that she was still going to be allowed to play in the WNBA, that's like so she had the whole thing, huh? She had basically could play Big Three, play WNBA, and had the equity and the money, and that's an unbelievable
Yeah,
opportunity.
your cake and eat it too. You
Oh,
really
fuck.
had that.
Yeah, during our season, we only had one game that was a conflict with the Fever, and we were willing to move that game.
Wow.
So she'll be able to play in both. So, we would have made it work for her in every which way, we could have. And look, it was a big swing. It would have unlocked a lot of dollars as far as sponsor-wise for the league, ticket sales, ratings. You definitely are not doing your job if you don't go after a player like this.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about it. I'm telling you, the way you guys are running Big Three and being innovative and thinking outside the box. That's what's gonna keep thriving in that. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch.
My question.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Q.
That's what we've been doing over the last 8 years, is calibrating the league and making sure it was fun to play for the players, fun to watch for the fans. We ain't gonna tinker with it too much. We think it's great. First to 50 win, so it's a sprint. And one shot free throws is great. Seeing somebody shoot 3 free throws is a but seeing them shoot 4 would make you lead the arena. So we said, one shot from the 4-point circle if you get fouled that far. So, these little innovations just make the game go quicker.
Yeah.
Make it more bite-sized for these new fans who on their phones and you know, they kind of on the move, you know.
Yeah. I got one question because I want to circle back to what you said about, maybe the agents, kind of blocking it and, things like that. How has that been when you're dealing with the NBA and this specific situation with Caitlin, the WNBA, and, not being seen as, but being seen as a competitor and not being seen as an asset or being seen as a situation where, you can help, retired NBA players or maybe even help a player that can come into the big three and they can say, oh, he might have a chance to play on our level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. How has it been not really having that support? Because we talked about this before prior to this.
It's been challenging, but it's been rewarding too, because we know, nobody has helped us get to this point. And they can't really discredit what we've accomplished. We have changed the game for the better. We think it's silly. And when you really look at it, most of the NBA loves us.
Yeah.
The players love us. The coaches love us. GMs love us. Owners love us. NBA fans love us. We just got a problem with the brass. The Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, them guys feel threatened, and they don't. We could have worked together all these years, and we wouldn't have made a move without their blessing. But now, I think it's better for the game that we are away from them, so we can do things that's cool, innovative. We can make the game fun, and but still keep it serious. One thing we pride ourselves on is we play the game the right way.
Yeah,
it's fast, it's physical. We let trash talking happen. If it go down, nobody gonna get a tech. We let the players be themselves. Nobody want to pay to see robots play.
Yeah.
And so, be yourself. Your personality is welcomed in the big three instead of shunned. And the players love it. Fans love it. That's what the fans want to see. It's entertainment, but between the lines, it's deadly serious, and it's great to have that, that finger on the pulse. Put it that way.
Yeah. And that's a man game, boy. I'm telling you, like 3-on-3, like you say, you can't hide. If you a weak link, somebody gonna go at you and go at you and go at you and go at you.
Some dudes don't want the smoke, man. When they done with the NBA, they like, man. They going a little too hard out there in the big three. So it's good to have that reputation, but I think fans want to see. They don't want to see people scoring 140 points and losing.
Yeah.
Who want to see that?
Yeah.
Man? It's like gotta bring the D back in, and make it a balanced game. I think fans dig it.
No, the hardest thing for me when you started the whole thing was because the fans want to see competitive basketball.
Yes.
And the guys, the players that you have coming in now, once you roll about, they're going to be competitive. Now, making rules and stuff that implement so that we can stay competitive. And like you said, like no one wants to come watch a 140, 118 old men play basketball, but to compete to 50 and to do that stuff, I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun. So June 15th, it starts again this year, right? Any new rules that we need to be ready for?
Nothing new. Everything is working. So
there you go.
We don't want to. If it ain't broke, don't break it. That's my motto. So we gonna. What's great about the league now? Most of our coaches been there almost a decade. We've had Dr. J 8 years. We've had Iceman 8 years. Rick Barry 8 years. It's been cool to have these. Gary Payton been there from day one.
GP.
Rick Mahorn. It's just been cool to have these OGs there that long, and now they really understand our rules. They really know how to win in the big three. They know how to use everything available to win a game, and so that's the beauty from us. From our invention of this, version of 3-on-3, to see people implement the rules and what's going on to win the game, and come back and come from behind, and it's been amazing to see it all come together.
Well, even though you might not have the direct support of the NBA, you have the support of the NBA with that list of names you just said. You talking about Dr. J, you talking about Rick Mahorn,
GP.
you talking about Clyde Drexler, you talking about Rick Barry. Like you have, I mean, these are some real ones, and these are guys that are legendary in this league. Like you have the support of the legends.
Yeah, that's all I need at the end of the day. Once they tell me, Cube, you're doing the right thing, we support it. I go to them for advice. We got an open book in the league. Anybody can hit me, call me, talk about something that's their concerns, whatever, adjustments we need to make. What's cool is we can make them on the fly. Don't have to take years and competition committees and all this. It just got to make sense to the league, to the people that's playing, people that's coaching. To the staff. So it's been the funnest thing I've done in my career.
That's dope.
For real? That's
dope.
for real.
That's dope.
I'm a fan of the game. These are my heroes, and so to be around them, on a weekly basis, to get a chance to have, cool conversations with them, about, I talked to Iceman, he tell me about his, he hunt on his land out there in Texas, and so it's, it's being able to talk to these dudes, about stuff that's outside of basketball. It's like from a fan point of view, don't get no better.
Speaking of being a fan of the game,
Hey, well, we fans right now. I'm gonna just say that. I ain't gonna cut. I don't want to cut you off, Mike. But we
I'm
fans
a fan
right
of
now.
y'all too.
We fans right now.
Y'all got them rings, man. So
we
definitely
fans.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, we fans
Yeah.
too. Because I mean, growing up, obviously, where we grew up, in South Dakota. I can't say.
see, he keeps doing this, Q.
It's my bad, killer. But obviously, growing up,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, where we grew up in the inner city, dog, and it's like just seeing somebody, obviously, that look like us, that go through some of the same things we go through, but also speak about it, in a way that we can understand it. And you've always done that. You've always spoke about it in a way that we can understand it. You've always brought it to our people. And sometimes you need people like that, because I know for me personally, like a lot of things don't get to my community and get to my people. We got to see it on TV or we got to read about it. But nobody don't bring it to you. You always brought it straight to us. You know what I'm saying? You brought it straight to us, whether
Appreciate that.
it was through the music,
Yeah.
whether it was through the movies, or whether it was through the big 3-on-3. You brought it to your people, dog, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I
He ain't lying about
appreciate
that.
everybody, being down, and I think that's what an artist is supposed to do. I look at the artists back in the day, from Marvin Gaye to Stevie Wonder. Artists I grew up on, like the Chuck D's and KRS-Ones of the world. You got to bring the information to the people when you got the mic.
Yeah.
You got the mic, use it. Don't just rhyme for the sake of riddling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But rhyme with a message, and you still gonna want to make the people rock and dance and have a good time. But you want to put a little something. Leave them a little something to think about. And so, also I want to salute Brother Marquise, who just passed away.
Yes, sir.
From the 2 Live Crew.
Yes, sir.
I know y'all out there in Miami.
Yep.
We had good times together on the road. He was a cool dude. He put the word live in 2 Live Crew.
Yes,
He was
yes,
ball of energy.
yes.
And so it was always good to see that brother. He always had a smile on his face and always had a good time no matter where he was. So
That's love.
salute to Brother Marquise and everybody in the 2 Live Crew that's hurting right now.
Yeah, that's one of my OGs, Luke, 2 Loud Crew. Obviously, I grew up on that music and grew up on them. So that's love right there, OG, man.
For real. So talk about that, going back to, like you're saying, 2 Live Crew. So talk
Yeah,
about
you
the
talk
early,
about the music, yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to the music a little bit.
The
'cause-
beginning. Let's go back to
yes,
I can
please.
say this with attitude. You just say NWA, killer.
yeah.
We don't want you to get canceled.
NWA.
Yeah,
NWA.
you just say NWA. We don't want you to get canceled. Back to the with the attitude. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Obviously, I saw the movie. I
Yes.
saw how everybody came together. I
Yes.
saw, like, you know what I'm saying, Eazy-E was really in the streets
Yes.
on that shit, and he came in with the money. But just talk about that, man, as young men, you know what I'm saying, growing up in your community and just bringing it just what y'all was experiencing, and how y'all was able to come together and collaborate, which is a strong word, collaborate, because we don't collaborate enough in our communities.
Yeah, just being a part of music. I thought my path was gonna be sports, playing football.
Okay.
And meeting Dr. Dre at a young age, 14 years old. His cousin lived on my street, so he said, "Y'all, my cousin do records," and tripped me out meeting Dre, and they was already doing parties. They had big names in the city. So, my interest started to go from sports to music. I started hanging out and really understanding what it took. They were still trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we was on the West Coast,
Yeah.
all the biggest artists were on the East Coast. So we were still trying to find our way through the local West Coast artists that was out here. It was people like Ice-T. He was starting to bubble. King T, Mixmaster Spade, Tidy T, a lot of T's. Was they was starting to bubble. The L.A. Dream Team and Uncle James Army. Egyptian Lover. Y'all hearing Rob Bass now on that Kendrick.
Rob Bass.
Kendrick and Metro Boomin. That beat. So. We all trying to find our way, and then here come Eazy-E. His cousin had just got killed, some dope shit that was really, tragic, and he wanted to get out the game, It was just too much. And so he started to want to do music, and he had a group out of New York. He had found some guys from New York that was in L.A., so he just knew this group was about to blow because they was from New York. That's how we was thinking back then.
So that Straight Outta Compton thing is almost like it sounds like you're telling the story again.
Yeah, that's how it went down.
Unbelievable.
That's how it went down. Yeah, and so I wrote a song for him because I was, Dre liked how I wrote. We was doing mixtapes for the neighborhood. And we was talking about what was going on in the neighborhood. This was stuff we didn't think we could sell on the radio, in a record store. This was underground. Mm-hmm. And Easy was like, them the kind of records we need to make. Y'all trying to sign Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and when y'all we need to be talking about what's going on around here. Like y'all do on those mixtapes. Why y'all do the good stuff on the mixtapes, but when y'all get in the studio, y'all want to do these rap records, So he wanted me to write him a song for his group, but he wanted it hard. So that's when I wrote Boys in the Hood.
Fire.
And his group didn't like it. So Drake got him to rap it. And we blew up, He blew up from there. Dre said, "Yo, I want you to do your own song." Easy said, "I'll pay for it if you do your own song." So I did a song called Dope Man.
Dope man.
On the other side was eight ball rolling. So we just through working with Eazy-E and him letting us do what we was feeling and doing what we wanted to do, we was able to develop this style, and we just kept going with it.
But it wasn't really embraced at first. Well, it was embraced in y'all community, but outside of y'all community, it wasn't really embraced. So the struggles of
it was embraced everywhere.
Okay.
It was different. It was
okay.
It was what it was we didn't think we could sell a million records talking that dirty because it wasn't a lot of explicit raps that were selling gold, platinum, So we was like, yo, we going the hard route. Like, we don't think we're gonna have a chance. First, we from the West Coast, and we not from New York, so that's making it even harder for us to bubble. And now we putting all this profanity on the record. Our shit gonna be like where they put the Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor records, like
Yeah.
where they put the dirty comedy records, that's what we thought. And it went the opposite.
So
It blew up past everything.
it was embraced by the culture and by the people, but it wasn't embraced by the elders and the community. When you came to the cities to do concerts and do like that, it was embraced by the crowd and the people that listened to it, but the other people wasn't embracing it. So how did that make it to go to a city and do a show, or make it go somewhere and perform? How was that?
It was crazy. One time, they wasn't gonna let us perform in Cincinnati. And the mayor was an ex-Bengal. He had played linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals and became the mayor. So
And nobody like, from
man,
Cincinnati but Icky Woods. My bad. Go ahead.
he became the mayor, and so we was like, man, we just need to talk to the dude. If we could talk to him, he'll let us perform. So me, Ren, and the promoter flew in to Cincinnati early. When we got off the plane, they jacked us like some eight, I don't know, undercovers.
Damn.
Jacked us, put us against the wall. Then, the promoter going crazy. The promoter's like, man, y'all put your hands down. What are y'all doing, man? We here. Talk to the mayor. What are y'all doing? So got out of that incident. We went to go talk to the mayor, and we was just like, man, we just want to do shows. It's like, this is what we grew up around in our neighborhood, and this music. We actually being positive because, when we got off the plane, y'all thought we was dope dealers and they threw us against the wall. But we not dope dealers. We here to do music. Yeah. And so he saw it our way. But when we did the show later on that summer, the police still rushed us. They still arrested everybody. But that time they wrote us citations for obscenity laws that they had, and it was, it was going through that every night. Either police reading us some kind of ordinance, or threatening us, or standing around the stage trying to intimidate us, letting us know if we use any profanity, we going to jail. And we always just went up there and did our show. We didn't care what they were saying, because we was out there having fun. Yeah. We on the road, we young, we West Coast, we still performing in big arenas like the East Coast groups. You know what I mean? Like, the little shit the police was doing was not gonna keep us from having a bunch of fun.
So that's when the police came, and that true when they say, well, y'all, what city was that? They say don't perform this particular song, and y'all was like,
yeah, and
y'all did y'all thing, and they rushed y'all and all that. What was that? That sounded like that was in South Dakota.
That was in Detroit.
You see this I got to deal with you? Gosh, damn, that was Detroit.
Detroit, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, they was.
Wow.
They rushed us.
Wow.
They rushed us.
You want to talk about that? How that was? Y'all said we gonna go out guns blazing, all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, they had just threatened us too many times about the song, and this was like close to our last show. So we just decided to do it because we was just tired of the threats, and we was mad at the promoter. It was a different promoter at the time because we had the hottest record in the country, and they had put us on very early, and so it was just a big problem. It was a big problem. We just did it. And they actually threw cherry bombs or some kind of flashbang type device on stage. That's what got us running. That's why we all ran. Like, people thought we was just we didn't really know they was police. We just thought they was fighting in the crowd.
Oh.
Until we saw the badges start to come up, and then they start climbing up on the stage.
Oh, Lord.
We were still performing. We were still performing, like looking at them, and then, man, I heard something, boom, loud. I'm like, damn, they actually shooting. They trying to kill us.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I was like, damn, they actually shooting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We broke. Everybody broke.
That's right.
You know, that's the natural reaction in the hood when you hear that pow, pow, pow. You ain't gonna wait around to see where it came
Yeah.
from. You get the fuck up
ain't
out of
gonna
there.
see- you ain't gonna
Hell
wait.
no.
Yeah, you ain't
We'll
gonna
meet
wait.
at the end of the block and talk about what happened. Boy, you heard that? We'll
Yeah.
be down at the block talking about that.
Yeah, we was tearing ass out of there. You know what I mean? We was rolling. We was rolling, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But what you did, man, and I once again, Luke, man, because I'm from here, and what he did and what y'all did for just, you know, not only the industry, you know what I'm saying, but just freedom of speech, being able to exercise that.
Yeah.
Because whether you agree with what I got to say or not, it's still freedom of speech in this country. You know what I'm saying? We allowed to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, y'all wasn't giving that right. Luke wasn't giving that right for whatever reason.
Yeah, you know, he just tried to intimidate us. And with Luke, they went even further because, you know, Luke should get a lot of credit for fighting for freedom of speech in this country.
Yeah.
Because he actually had to go to the court. I think it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And so, you know, that was a big stand. If he'd have lost that, then, you know, I think we would have lost a form of entertainment that, you know, people did. You know, everybody ain't uptight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't uptight. Some people know how to take entertainment for what it is. And, you know, some people just, you know, hear bad words and they just, you know, have a fit, come apart.
And then Luke came around and, man, after that, came back with Banned in the USA on their ass. Banned in the USA. I was talk that Luke.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Fast forward. Now, obviously, you go through the NWA phase, and now you go into another phase with the money ain't right, the business ain't right.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The business ain't right. So now you got to take a step get out of your comfort zone. Now you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. At this point, you know, you was just, you know, making music, writing. Now you got to step into a lane of, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and having a voice. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that, because obviously what you do now and everything you're doing now, do you think it kind of started with that, stepping up, being the first to say, this shit ain't right? Like, we got to speak up on how this shit's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
how hard
everything
was
you're
it to leave
doing now,
NWA? That'd be a
did
hard
it kind of
decision.
start there with
Yeah.
you taking your career and your future and all that in your own hands? Because oftentimes, even as athletes,
No doubt.
we even though we grown ass men, we'll leave our future in the hand of somebody who we know probably ain't doing the right thing. But we comfortable. We scared to get out of our comfort zone and take our future and our life and shit into our own hands. So do you think it started there for you?
In a lot of ways, yeah. You know, the way I was raised and how my neighborhood is, I couldn't live with myself if I knew somebody was taking advantage of me. And I knew it, but I didn't do nothing about it.
Did you lose
Like,
sleep?
yeah, you know, I don't even know if I could write a rap with bravado if I knew that was happening in reality. You know, so you got to take care of that first. And I always felt like I was broke when I first started. If this is just a blip on my radar and I go back to being broke, then so be it.
Crazy.
But I can't go forward and live with myself knowing this is happening and I didn't do nothing about it. So it was kind of like something I had to do just for my inner peace. And so I was fine with whatever happened after that. And I think that made me relax a little bit and not press. But even though, you know, once I knew I had a budget, like when we talked to Priority Records, Brian Turner, told him what was happening, he was like, well, we still want you. You want to do your solo here. And so once I knew I had that was all I needed. You know, that just put the batteries in my back.
Then you hit him over the head with
It
no
was just time to
Vaseline.
go.
You
Yeah.
went.
After they dissed me though,
You gotta get
You
him
went
back.
now. You
know,
went
on,
for
on,
sure.
on my first album, America's Most Wanted, I did not mention NWA. I didn't diss. Wasn't no issues. You couldn't even hear I was even mad at the group.
Yeah.
And then they dissed me. So, I couldn't have that. I wasn't going for that.
No, you did. Hey, listen here, Cube. Now, God damn. Hey, listen. When you said the man dick smell like MC Ren, I say, God damn, Cube.
Yeah, hey, it's 4-on-1, man. It's 4-on-1. So, you can't hold back. You gotta.
Hey, listen, you ain't got to explain to me. I thought I was part of the lynch mob back then. You had me. I was with y'all.
Yeah.
I would have been. I
That's
thought
what
I was
I'm
part of the
saying.
lynch mob. You had me.
Hey, man. 4-on-1, it ain't no rules for the one.
Love it. Love it.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rules for the one. Whatever he need to do to handle that, he got to handle that.
You gotta do that. You gotta do whatever you gotta do.
I mean, I was a fan. Obviously, started from America's Most Wanted, and then all the way to the West Side Connection and the Dub C days and all that. I always been a fan of your. I always been a fan of your. I could never see walk with it, but I always been a fan of your. Now. I always been a fan of that.
That's all right. My man Dub will give you some lessons if you ready.
Got all that. Hell, Mac 10, all them boys, man. I've been a fan, dog, real fan. I was always on that gangster for real. Like I was always on that. That was part of my problem. I could never really. Well, now I'm evolved, but it took me a while, boy. I was wild.
I heard about you. I heard about you in the league.
Yeah, I was wild for.
I heard about you in the league.
It's all true. It's all true.
Yeah.
I was a little rough around.
Some dudes you don't play with, man. You remind me of them Charles Oakley types. You don't play.
Them my OGs, man. All them dudes, them my OGs. The Rick Mahorns, and anytime I see them dudes, man, I'm like a kid in the candy store, soaking up game from them dudes, man. Them my real OGs. So rap beef today.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's over. I don't know if it's still going. My kids pay attention to this, but the Kendrick and the Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like, you pay attention to that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one?
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Is it still going? Is the still relevant?
I don't know. It depends on
who fired back.
Who fired back, when they fired back. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick didn't have 3 or 4 more songs just waiting.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. Every 5 or 10 years a great one come along.
You put that one in you put that beef in that kind of category, you think? Drake Kendrick?
Oh yeah. It's been some great beefs that get the attention of more than just hip hop.
That's right.
Those are the ones when the whole world is tuned in and dialed in, and long as it don't get physical.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the line I cross, or the line I draw when it's hip hop, and then there's crime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop should not be ever equated to crime. You keep it on wax, it's hip hop. Y'all start fighting in the street, it ain't hip hop no more. It's just street.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And
it's just simple as that.
Yeah, you f up your money. Yeah, you f up your money. Yeah, all that.
Up your money. Yeah,
all that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Could be f up your life.
Yeah.
Or life next to you. Sometimes the rapper don't get hit. It be the homies next to him. It be the one that's protecting them. So. That's when you gotta just be careful.
I got a question because you similar to myself. You still stay out west. Born and raised out there. And you said what you just said is sometimes it's not the main person, but it's the homie. How did you manage keeping some of the homies that you grew up with, and then leaving some of them behind? Because everybody ain't ready to evolve, and sometimes as you evolve and still doing the same, get up every day, going out on the block, hanging around doing the same, and you start to grow apart. And now I'm going one way and you going the other way. And you still in LA. Like, I still deal with that shit today. How did you handle the situation as you start to grow, you start to evolve, and you start to get off certain shit, but your homie's still on the same shit they was on? And now you can't be around that because you in a different lane now. You got a different mindset. Like, you seeing things differently. But still on the same.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, they looking at you like you doing something wrong. Like, how you handle that shit?
Well, for one, I remind everybody that I'm from the same neighborhood they from. We come from the same. I remember who the they is. They remember who the I am. Before the fame, make that reminder, nigga. I still remember who you are, homie. How it was before all this. I also give them a shot. See what they do with it. You know, you
Okay.
f- off.
Okay.
Don't ask me again.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I need assets. I don't need liabilities. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring something to the table. You can't f- with production. You know what I'm saying? Don't f- with production. Whatever's going on, don't mess with them people. And just do what I ask when I ask. You know, I don't ask much. And so if they follow them criteria, they usually with me for a long, long time.
That's love.
You know what I'm saying? I got dudes with me over 2 decades, 3 decades. But if they don't, I leave their ass right where they at, friends or family, and I'd rather give them money than for them to come f- up my money. You dig?
I feel you on that. I feel that. I give you money to stay your ass away from me before I let you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
man, I
feel
slide you this, I slide you that.
Now stay your ass
don't,
over there.
Don't ask to work for me, man. Don't ask to work for me here.
That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Hey,
It'd be a hell of a lot cheaper that way too.
Yeah, I want to double back
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I want to double back on one thing because obviously you don't have the support that you could have or you should have from the NBA and the WNBA, but you just got an award named after you. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just got a award named after you for
Ice
your
Cube Impact Award.
That's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
the inaugural Naismith Hall of Fame Ice Cube Impact Award, man. We're gonna give you your flowers on that because whether you have the support
you.
of certain people, you still have the support of certain people. So tell
Yeah.
how that felt. How that felt.
Oh man, that felt amazing. You know, that's something that, you know, with none of what you're doing, like when you guys played, did you ever think, man, one day I might make it to the Hall of Fame? It's like something you don't even think about.
Exactly
You just
right.
do your thing. If it happens, it'd be a you know, some, you know, cherry on top.
Yeah.
So, you know, I made it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with NWA. Wasn't expecting that, and you know, that's a beautiful thing. Got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You know, that was like, I didn't start acting for that. So it's just beautiful to get there. But never in a million years did I ever think that I would do something that'll land in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So when they called me and said that, you know, the impact that you've made on the game of basketball is worth celebrating at this level.
So awesome.
And we also want to name an award after you so we can give it away every year to people who deserve it, who's using basketball to make an impact in people's lives. You know, it's like blew me away, man. And, you know, we just talked to him today, putting the committee together, and it's just you know, it's like, you know, you're doing something right. You just never know who's watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, just keep doing the right thing because you never know who's watching. And so that's what this proves to me. Straight humble. And, you know, it's got my name on it, but I put my man Jeff Quanten's name on it. I put Clyde Drexler, Nancy Lieberman, Amy Trask, you know, just some of the people who have helped us put this league together. You know, they should be a part of this too.
Well, that's elite, man. Congratulations for real.
Man,
it's,
that's
it's
beautiful.
awesome. It's unbelievable.
That's beautiful. That's
Thank
unbelievable.
you. Thank you.
You've done a lot of iconic, right? And this next question is gonna be like when people ask me who's your favorite child. It's hard to pick one. But out of the Fridays, what's your favorite one?
Oh man, I would say, wow. I mean, you can't beat the first one.
Man.
Yeah.
You can't beat the first one. So the first one's my favorite, but I love that third one too.
Man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. We're gonna come out of left field, but one of my favorites is Janky Promoters. I love me some goddamn Janky. I love me some goddamn Janky Promoters, boy. I love me some Janky Promoters, man. One of my favorites.
Man, it's one of those movies that I didn't really even get a chance to finish it.
Wow.
You know, it's an unfinished movie, but it's a great movie because it's a little janky.
Yeah.
And the movie's janky, promoters. So
that's how promoters is for real,
fits.
though. That's how they are.
It fits. Yeah. So everybody love the movie. You know, if you've had any kind of interaction in the music game, even sports, you can relate to the shady people that's around the industry. You know they lurk in all these different nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all can have y'all janky agent movie. You know, y'all can write that in a weekend. You know, with all the
I can write about it right now. I got one sitting next to me.
Yeah. So
I got my janky agent right here. Hey, all his clients. I'm just. He's a great agent. He's a great agent. That's just a joke. We play like that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Prize pick.
Before we go to prize picks, writing, directing, acting, or producing, which one? What's your in which one you prefer? You've done it all. So what's your favorite out of those?
I love producing. Okay. I mean, having your hand in all aspects of the movie from the script to, the premiere and everything in between. So that's what I dig the best.
One more question before we go to the prize picks. I feel like I got a lot of questions. Working with your son, because as a father right now, I got a son that play basketball, and he look at me when I say something like I don't know, and I'm looking at him like, who the else you gonna listen to about basketball besides me? How is that working with your son? Because I don't know why I feel like they don't never want to listen to us about. They'll listen to somebody else.
Yeah, I think they hear us all the time, every day, on everything. Sometimes it's cool to hear from somebody else, but what works is when you tell them the right shit, and then the other guy tell them too. Now they come back and say, you know what? Pops do know about this or about that. So it's a little natural. I think kids want to find, they want to find things on their own, discover things outside of just the household. So it's cool.
It's so
you're still gonna hear
true.
from me.
Yeah,
exactly.
Still gonna hear from me anyways. You're gonna have two coaches.
Speaking of coaches, what your Lakers gonna do, Q? Speaking of coaches, what your Lakers gonna do?
I don't know. I'm so knee deep in the big three right now. Whatever they do, I'm gonna be there to criticize.
Criticize.
Even though I love the Lakers, I loved, Jenny Buss. She's great, but they gotta get a big man. I don't know what the hell they saw last year, but the same damn thing happened this year. They gotta find somebody who can handle the Joker.
Man,
I don't care what coach they get.
A lot of people gotta find somebody that can handle that. You see what he did to Rudy Gobert? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Woo.
Man,
boy.
Hit him with prize pick, coach.
All right, man. We gonna get to the prize picks real quick, and everybody at home, this is just an opinion. Don't be DMing us. Don't be writing to our podcast complaining. We are allowed to have our own opinion, and plus it's our show, so we don't give a fuck anyway. So, prize picks. Top 5 rap diss tracks. We already know No Vaseline is one. Mm-hmm. What would be your top 5 rap diss tracks?
I like Hit 'Em Up.
We said that
I like,
for sure.
Ether.
Ooh.
I like They Not Like Us.
They Not Like Us. Okay.
And I like Back to Back.
Back to Back. Hey, listen, I can't argue with
I can't argue that.
I love the old school, the Ethers.
I'm gonna argue with Q
the
about
hit 'em
diss
ups,
tracks. It'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? The No Vaselines, and I love They Not Like Us, obviously, and the Back to Backs. My son listening to that They Not Like Us right now. You know what I'm saying? He bumping that heavy.
Everybody
right now.
is.
Yeah, he bumping that heavy right now. And I ain't gonna lie, hey boy, he went in on that. The more I listen to it, the more I catch. The more I listen to it, the more I start to hear that he's saying in the song, because you might miss it the first time. But you listen to it a second or a third time, then you start to catch the shots that he's throwing. He throwing shots like Well, I don't want none of them strays.
Those are the best disses. For sure.
Let me. Now we got a little fan question things for a few questions for you. If you don't mind, Q. And one of them is, if you were in the NBA, what position you think you were going to play?
Oh,
Well, if you're in the big, how about
Point
this?
guard.
Yeah, that's right. If
Point
you were in the
guard.
big three, you'd be doing whatever you want out there. It should be that question. How about that?
point.
Oh no, I would not play in the big three. I would not play in the big three.
Shout out to my dog Mario and Bees over there too in the big three. I be watching them boys all the time over there in the big three. I love them dudes. They're my guys, man. I love to see Mario and Bees out there hooping, especially Bees
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Bees can go.
Bees is perfect for the big
go.
Without a
three.
doubt.
Man, he can go.
Without a doubt.
Ain't
You
nobody
gotta get to
stopping.
the playoffs though.
Yeah, no, they ain't figured that out yet. They ain't figured that shit out yet.
Bad GM over there, Cole. They got bad. Who is the GM over there?
I think they their own GMs, ain't they?
Mario,
Yeah,
yeah.
they their own
that's,
GMs.
that's,
Them motherfuckers.
that's what I'm saying. Bad GM over there.
Hey, listen,
You
I'm
gotta get
just so you know, Q, we named a Reckless Rio for a reason.
Reckless Rio for real. Hey, I love
now
how
you
you,
can
I love
get
how
it
you,
in.
I love how you did that, Q. Because now they can't get no one to blame but himself. You don't make the
Exactly.
playoffs. It's your own fault. I mean, you ain't got enough talent, and you hired yourself. Yeah, one more question. Let me see here. What is it? We already talked about a diss track. What is the favorite role you in a movie that you've done?
Oh man, I love playing Craig. I
Craig.
love playing. I love playing Calvin too in Barbershop.
Calvin, wow, I forgot about Barbershop.
Bookham.
Dope.
Bookham was dope. Yeah, Bookham. Yeah. And Russell Red was fun too.
Wow.
Russell Red, yeah.
Russell Red.
Incorporated.
Where did the name Ice Cube come from? Where that came from? Where you get that from?
I'm my brother. My brother gave me that name.
Okay.
He he was threatening me. He was going, at the end of our block, they used to put out, if you was finished with your refrigerator, you just put it on the curb.
Yeah.
People would come get
Pick
it.
that.
Well, it was one on our block for like a month. Nobody would pick that shit up. It was just there. And so my brother got mad at me, and he was like, I'm gonna take your ass and put you in that refrigerator down the block, and when they pull you out, you're gonna be an ice cube. So I started using it, like, telling my friends, I'm Ice Cube. I'm just Ice Cube, Ice Cube. So it just stuck. It just never left.
Them the best nicknames. Them the best. Them the best.
Well, Q, we can't thank you enough for coming on here, my brother. For real, everything that you've done,
Yes.
you've been a legend in all of it, between music and movies, and now this big three. The big three gonna be fun to watch this year, man. I can't wait to watch it.
Yes,
And I'm gonna
sir.
you need to buy a
Yeah,
team,
man.
buy a franchise over here, so we can get a team rolling. So I
Man,
so I can
do
criticize
your
his
thing.
ass. I can criticize his
Me
ass.
and Mike could do it together, but I can't do it by myself.
No, but for real, man,
Now
we
put a
appreciate
group
you.
together.
That's right, we're
Put
going
a group
to.
together, man.
We're going
Everybody
to.
throwing $1 million, man, and y'all
That's
on
right.
the team.
We're gonna have to
Stop
do.
playing.
We're gonna have to do that. I think. I'm for real.
We
For
definitely
real.
have to put a group together.
Well, the OGs.
For sure, for sure. Hey, Q, man, I appreciate
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
dog. Everything that you've done for the culture, everything you've done, you know what I'm saying, in the industry, just everything you've done for, obviously, basketball, moving forward. As a black man myself and, starting off just playing the game of basketball, you've obviously made it clear that you don't just have to be a basketball player. You don't have to stay where you started. You can continue to evolve. You can continue to grow. I feel like I watched you live 6 lifetimes, you know what I'm saying, and all the things that you continue to just reinvent yourself, man, and stay ambitious and continue to bet on yourself and double down, man. So we all can learn a lot from you, dog, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, salute, man, for real. Thank you for coming on too. We appreciate that.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Anytime and every time. Thanks a lot, man, and much love, much respect. And let's do it again soon.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
OG,
We'll do it in
I'll
person
be
next
there. I
time.
know y'all travel around and y'all move around, so I'll see y'all in Miami for sure.
Appreciate you, Q.
Okay.
OG's
All right.
out.
Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
we'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.